All right, my loves. Hello and welcome. It has been a good long while since I have done a video. So, through all the tech issues and other things happening in this world and in my own world, it is so lovely to be back with every single one of you. And some conversations as of late really have sparked this desire and this conversation that I want to have with every single one of you who are tuning into this video and this channel and the challenge today. Okay. So sit back, relax, take some notes, just absorb this information, and please do comment and subscribe to this channel. So, what I am talking about today is a couple of things: dark night of the soul, spiritual awakening, and how important it is to have someone in your life that is beyond where you are currently at. Okay, so mentor, friend, coach, partner, someone literally who has been there, been through that, done that, came out the other side, and can help you navigate through. And even probably most importantly, freaking hold space for you, my loves. Okay? Because most people, when they say they're there to support you, here's what they do. Okay? Because I realized this so clearly in the last 6 to 9 months when I have asked for support, wanted support, needed support. Number one is that they come in to have a conversation or support you and they talk over you. Okay. That is like such a huge disrespect, like unawareness, unconsciousness that so much of this collective has. Talking over people. When you are holding space for someone, you are there to listen to them. You are not even there to give advice unless they ask, what do you think? Or what would you do? Unsolicited advice is like one of the most toxic ick things that happens, that I've done, that probably a lot of you have done, that we learned not to do because it is not well received. And we don't want that done to us. Okay. And here's the other thing that they also do is they listen to you and then they interject with their own story. Or I knew so-and-so who went through the same thing and blah, blah, blah. And they put the attention right back on them. Also huge ick, huge ick. Because what you need right now is you need someone who can freaking hold space for you. And yes, put their energy, their attention, their time on you for that specific time that you need it. And you freaking deserve it, my friends. Okay. Especially if you hold beautiful space for so many other people. Got it? And then the other part of it too is like when I say that, I'm like right away my mind goes, and especially if you bring the fun and you bring the party and you bring the light and the banter and the humor to other people, like when you freaking need support, you deserve that to be there for you as well. Okay. And so, of course, we all have our own unique gifts and blessings to share with this world and the way that we present ourselves. But like what you give out, you deserve to have come back to you and for you. Okay. And so, all of that being said, wherever you're at in this journey, in this spiritual awakening journey, in a dark night of the soul, in a pause, in a health crisis, in whatever you're at, in an up level, whatever that is, you deserve support. And you deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be seen, and you deserve to be understood. Okay? And so when you are navigating something, whatever that might be, you have to have what I would say is an older soul, okay, who is not older than you age-wise, but soul-wise older than you, or at the same level, but literally someone who has moved beyond, who has moved through it, who can, again, hold space, be that mentor, that coach, that friend who helps you navigate through so that you also can get to the other side. Okay? Because if we don't go to the other side and keep moving forward, what happens is we regress and we end up in a past loop that our soul has already learned the lessons on and has tried to move beyond. And so we go back to that same environment, that same dynamic, that same relationship, and it is the exact same loop. Our soul does not want us to keep looping, okay? Our soul is designed to keep learning, not the same lessons over and over and over, my friends, new lessons, up-leveled lessons, new growth, new experiences, new challenges. Okay. So we're not meant to regress. And sometimes it does feel like that slingshot thing where we take 2 steps back, 1 step forward, or we go all the way down into like a dark night of the soul or something deep, dark, whatever that is. And then when we're ready to launch, we launch that much further than where we were prior. Okay. We have that much more light once we move through, integrate some of those fragmented pieces, even the shadow, all that stuff that we weren't fully embodied with, or that we hadn't fully claimed, or that we hadn't fully integrated so that we could be in wholeness. Okay. Now, when I say that, I have to address one more thing that I keep hearing. Okay. So I've been in this spiritual community for like a lot of years, and there is a lot of BS going on in there. As many of you know, there's a lot of fake love and light. There's a lot of bypassing. There's a lot of manipulation and gaslighting and all the BS that happens in every other corner of this world. It's happening in the spiritual community as well. Okay. And so all that being said, I just want to acknowledge that and also say that there's so many people right now looking for their partner, looking for that one. When I find my partner, when all this stuff, okay? They are looking outside of themselves for something to fill them up. They still don't understand that you have to have a happy, full, fulfilled life. You don't have to, but how, like, we are meant to create that every single day. We are meant to live whole on our own, financially free, emotionally free, spiritually free, like all these things on our own, whole person, who then, if they so choose or so desire, meets another whole person and decide to come into an adventure with, or decide to form a partnership, or whatever that is. But like, so many people are taking that whole thing way too seriously, and I'm like freaking over it. Because I'm like, freaking live your life. Be happy, be joyful, or whatever you're moving through. If you're moving through a health crisis, okay, let's not bypass it. You're doing what you need to do every single day for you, right? Or to even survive, or to even get out of bed in the morning. Okay, got it. Let's fully focus on you. Let's bring all of your energy back home, okay? So that none of it is leaking out, so that your body can actually heal and rest and restore. Okay, so this is all the work that I do, my loves. And just a little backstory is that in 2008, I had a spiritual awakening. I was receiving messages that were meant to take me on a whole different path. I didn't listen because I didn't know what it was, and I was scared. Okay, so I shut some of it down. I did not meet my first spiritual teacher until like, I think it was 5 years later, like 4 to 5 years later. So I was navigating an unknown path all on my own. And the other issue was that I was asking advice from people who had never been here, who had never had a spiritual awakening, who had never walked this journey, who were living a very physical world, 3D, limited reality thing, and couldn't give me the advice that I needed or the mentorship that I needed for the most part. There was one chiropractor who helped me so much in that time to let me know, like, I wasn't meant to be on medications and all this other stuff, okay? But when we don't have someone to support us, or we don't even know what the truth is, although deep within us we do, we take other people's truth, suggestions, advice as our own. even though it's not right for us, even though it's not meant for us. So that whole quote of like, don't ask someone who's never left home for advice when you're setting out on the world's greatest adventure. Like, yes, don't call home and ask someone for what would they do when they've never been there, done that. Don't ever do that. Okay? It's like one of my greatest won't do it again moments. You know, so many moments of those, right? Because actually within, like, you do know. And if you sit and you're quiet and still enough, you know, okay? And yes, most people can't do that. Most people cannot sit in the stillness with themselves in the complete quiet and hear and listen to the guidance that is there for them and actually receive it. Okay, which is something else that I do with my clients and in my practice is help them tune into that, whether it's listening to their spirit guides, talking and receiving communication from God, the universe, the divine, their own inner knowing, their intuition, all of that, my loves. Okay, because that will never lead you astray. You just have to be able to get out of the mind in order to access it. Okay. And for those of you who have had a spiritual awakening or in the process of any type of awakening, you know that there is so much more going on here than what they're telling us. You know that there's so much more for you to experience here than just the 3D physical world. You know that perhaps also you're a channel for things to come through, for greatness to come through, for creations to come through. Okay. And so tapping into that, staying dedicated to that, staying on that path is like crucial for you if you know that you have all of those abilities. Okay. And most of us do. It's just that many people have them shut down. Okay. Or many people haven't had the intense awakening where it all blew open, the Kundalini awakening, the third eye opening, like all of that stuff, my loves. Okay. So all that being said, like crucial to have someone, again, who can help you go beyond so that you don't regress into a loop, into a timeline, into something of the past that you were already meant to move beyond. Do you understand? Okay. And so that means, okay, like if this was, you know, you or looking for a mentor, it means someone who's, gone through a spiritual awakening at least once, gone through numerous dark nights of the soul, and can help you navigate and literally bring those pieces home, is what I call it, the fragmented pieces of you that are out there in the ethers, out there in the universe somewhere, right? And bring it all back home to you so that you can integrate, so that you can be embodied, so that you can be in wholeness. Okay. And also the other thing, because I will say another little personal thing here, in August and September, I moved through a very intense health crisis. Okay. 6 weeks of a whole lot of pain and a whole lot of body symptoms and days where all I did was walk a couple of pups, come back, lay in bed, literally with no noise, no music, no TV, nothing, quiet and stillness, tapping into my soul and going, what are you telling me? What have I missed? What's next? What is all this telling me? Why have I become disconnected from my soul again? Why did I live out months of an old program or start maybe some old habits, addictions, patterns came back up? Not the truth of who I am at all. But why did those come back up, right? Most people would never spend 24 hours in almost complete stillness and quiet and silence to be able to hear their soul. And yet there are times in our lives, my love, where it is crucial to do that. Okay. And it wasn't 3 consistent days. It was like a day of that. And then the next day I would have movement. Okay. Because you do have to keep moving at times to move this energy through your body so that it doesn't get stuck. Side note, so much of the traumatic experiences we've had, it was just meant to be that and to move through our body, but we held on to it and we stuffed it and we tucked it away and we trapped it in our body. And that's why we kept repeating those same cycles of toxic relationships or the same trauma over and over and over, just different actors in this movie that we have going on, in this play that we have going on, right? Because the trauma was trapped in our body. Okay, that's a different subject, perhaps a different video. Also, the work that I've done with so many people. Okay, we want to move those like energetic blocks, those energetic cysts, essentially the trauma that is trapped. We do want to move that up and out, is how I see it, is how I experience it in my work. Okay, not bypassing it. Like sometimes we have to go really deep in there to get to the root of what's been causing all of this, especially if it's a physical health symptom. But here's the other thing I want to add, my loves. So many people still looking at people with physical health symptoms or aging and what that does or whatever, and never, ever, ever addressing the emotional, mental, and spiritual cause of an illness, or looking at someone who looks incredibly healthy, always strong. Okay, the strong ones are the ones who get the least support because they carry it so well. They look so good because they're not going to go out in public looking like shit, right? Or hardly ever would we do that. And so we keep it all together. But inside, we are struggling. I don't want to affirm that, but like we have times of deep struggle, dark nights of the soul, where we could use some freaking support, or at least, if the very least, a safe, quiet place to rest, my loves. Okay, when you are healing, you need a safe, quiet place in which you can rest, possibly even alone. Okay, if you don't like a lot of people around you or noise around you. But so many of us didn't have that. So many of us haven't had that. Okay, because when other humans were involved, all the baggage was that they had, and it wasn't a safe place for us to be. Okay. Give me a moment, because I know we're kind of going on to these little like other side things. I just have to circle back around to what the dark nights of the soul awakening. I think I lost it. Anyway, the mental and emotional support. Like that's a thing that we miss, especially if physically you look amazing and you're doing so well and you're so healthy, right? Nobody even thinks that, oh my God, they might need some emotional support, or maybe they're not doing well emotionally or mentally, right? And those are the things that have to be addressed. Those are the things that it's like when we see a physical body illness, we're like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Well, what about the rest of it, right? What about those of us who have held all this stuff on our own because no one can see that it was freaking heavy mentally and emotionally for us, right? And because we were still tending to our physical health really well, still doing our workouts or yoga, everything we needed to do, okay? Anyway, I think you get what I'm saying, okay? The strong ones sometimes are the ones that have the least support, because the support people are offering is not the support we need. We don't need more alcohol. We don't need more edibles. We don't need more food. Okay. Like we need actual nourishing support, which is things like the ocean, yoga, heat, detox, sauna, water. Like that's what we truly need. And again, a safe place to be held. And of course, we have to do all of those things first and foremost for ourselves before we can expect it from another. Okay. And so one more thing to address, because this is also what I'm seeing. Anyone can watch a video and reiterate what someone else says. Anyone can talk a good game, my loves. So easy to do. There's so much information on spiritual awakening right now. The people who are actually doing the work are few and far between. The people who would actually spend 24 hours in complete quiet and mostly stillness to tap into their soul, few and far between. Okay. And the people doing a quick fix of ayahuasca or any other thing because they think it's going to clear all their trauma. Oh no, my loves. It's much deeper and more complex than just a trip to Peru and an ayahuasca journey. It's much more than that, as you know. Okay. And so there's a lot of BS and there's a lot of bypassing happening still. And so your choice of like, how far do you want to go on this journey? How deep into your soul do you want to go? Right. I once had someone comment on my Instagram and he messaged me. He's like, whoa, your videos are so deep. And I'm like, thank you. And then I've had other people go, oh my God, I love your depth because I'm not getting this anywhere else. Right. And so, and as much as I can be incredibly fun and lighthearted, especially in my personal life, let's just have fun because everyone comes to me and wants to trauma dump or dump all their stuff on me or explain all their spiritual stuff to me. And at the end of the day, I'm just here to dance and have fun and all of that stuff and keep it light. Okay. Because I do the deep dive in this work and during the day. And so the contrast of that is having a whole lot of fun on the other side after the workday ends or whatever that is. Okay. So my loves, okay. So talking a good game, but they're not embodied. They're like, oh yeah, I totally understand what you meant, blah, blah, blah. But then I watch their actions or I just watch them and their presence. And I'm like, they're intellectually comprehending it, but they're not embodying it. It hasn't landed in their physical body. And that is not a judgment. That's like okay, now let's allow embodiment to happen. Let's allow embodiment to happen. And when someone is embodied, then it just is. Their presence just is. The energy just is. The light just is. Or, the shadow is integrated. Like all of those things, it just is because that's what embodiment is. Okay, so we're not working so hard to clear the energy all the time. We're not working. It's not so much of an effort to just maintain. No, because now you're embodied. And so it just is. So that's another huge piece of my practice right now is totally embodiment. And also helping people move into the creative adventures and the creation and tapping into creation, especially for women, because we are here to create, tapping into that energy, allowing it to flow through you, and then building, creating whatever that is that you are meant to create here in this lifetime, whether that is your brand or a business or music or a piece of art or a book or a baby or whatever that is. Like we want to remove all the blocks that you have around creation in any form so that it can flow through you. Okay. So there you go, my loves. It's so great to be back. If you are a first-time viewer on this channel, thank you so much for being here. I would love to hear from you. Please reach out to me personally. You can always email me. My email is on my homepage of this channel. Still working with clients, still doing the thing. So much more to come. Have had a pretty incredible personal journey that I still would like to share more of, because what happens when we do this work, we move through something first, and then we come out with whatever that was as our own personal kind of conviction, story, journey, and say, now I can hold space for the people who are also going to move through something similar because I've already personally done it. And I know what I've learned and I knew what worked and what didn't work. And now I get to help other people move through. Okay. So just so you know, I've had multiple spiritual awakenings, and this last year was like my second big one. So I had first one at 28, second at 44, and both times rocked my world. This time I knew a whole lot more, but still had plenty of fear and stuff that I didn't know from the first time that presented itself to me. And I was like, okay, I didn't know all this stuff. I didn't know that this was also some of the ways the world is working or what is also happening in this world. So it was another huge eye-opening experience for me, probably still integrating some of what I moved through in the last year. Not all bad, by the way. I just didn't understand and I didn't know how to receive a lot of the blessings that were trying to come in for me. So again, like we're all in this together. We can super simplify it though. A lot of times, even in this, I'm kind of maybe over explaining or making it more complicated than it is. And I do think we need to simplify a lot of it and move through quicker than perhaps stalling or regressing or staying stuck in something. Okay. Because life is moving. And so we need to show up for that as well and not keep repeating the same things over and over and over. But I have been there. I have learned a ton over the years, and it has been one of the greatest blessings to help people navigate their way through and to also hold space for people to be able to process their own journey or process their pain or just know that they're not alone in this. So again, reach out to me if you do see fit. Much love, many blessings. Thank y'all so much for being here. And please do go out and have some fun today on this first day of October. New month could be a very explosive month for many of us, but you got to show up for it, my loves. You got to show up and keep doing the things that allow you to be and feel and radiate your best in this world. And as always, freaking rest when you need to rest. I've been feeling that a lot the last couple of days. More rest, more just kind of inward, all of that. Okay. So just honor your body, tune into your body and what it needs, and let go of, but I should be ... Okay. Honor the right here, right now, and what you truly need. So much love, many blessings. Thank y'all so much for being here, and I will see you again very soon.